you're walking your puppy right up to a threshold and you're learning how to reward them for being right next to you and staying with you with a loose leash, so that eventually when you were outside and talking to other people, your dog is not lunging on them or jumping on them or yanking your arm off or barking in frustration because they don't know what it is that you're trying to do. Let's go. When you do the blind feeding, your job is initially to walk up to your threshold and feed them next to you. Find them with your hands. What you want to do is not look at the dog, just be able to find them and reward them right here. At the front door, it's easier because the door is closed. Lemon says, I would like to be helpful too. So we're going to put Lemon over here. The idea behind not looking at your puppy when you work on blind feeding is because that's what happens out in real life. So much of our training has been, look at my dog, sit down, stay, do all these great things, okay? But when you're talking to a neighbor who's come up to say hello from a socially appropriate distance of at least 6 feet, you don't look at your dogs. So train for that moment that looks more like, whoop, let's go. That wasn't what I wanted to happen. So train for that moment that you know is coming. Walk up to the front door. When it's open, if they stay with you and don't go out the threshold, and I was watching you, right? I'm doing this, right? I'm doing the thing I do with my dog. Where's my dog? What are they doing? Let me adjust. So I can stand here, I can talk to the mailman, I can talk to the UPS driver, and I can reinforce my dog for not lunging out, not jumping on them, not being inappropriate. Let's go. I like practicing this one initially with the front door open, closed. Front door closed. So I get my mechanics right, and then I open the door because it's more like real practice. If you have a dog that is super barky and jumpy, especially with people out on the sidewalk, the goal this week is to practice this at the front door, and then also start practicing it when you see somebody across the street, when you see somebody walking away from you, when you see somebody walking across your path. Let's go. And I want you to think about how many treats it took you in this moment when you started teaching to keep them with you and quiet, and how far away did the person have to be. Absolutely do. Eventually I want them to wear down, weaned off the treats, yup. Or I might use the reward of go say hi to let my dog say hello. But right now, your job is to get the picture going. We can come up to your doorway, we can both look out in the world, and I can reward you for being perfectly right next to me without having to look at you or tell you what to do. Blind feeding, toes and paws lined up. I'm not looking at my dog. She's still doing what I want her to do. She was amazing. She got some rewards. Well done. Good job. There is nothing wrong with looking at your dog, but you will find when you're outside saying hello to visitors, it just doesn't happen. So train for that eventuality. Train for what your final picture will look like. Hey, good girl. Okay.